On a cold November evening in 1971, a man in a black suit calmly boarded a commercial flight. He looked ordinary, polite, quiet, almost forgettable. But within hours, he would pull off the most legendary hijacking in aviation history. He demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a flight into the darkness. Then, somewhere over the forests of Washington, he jumped into the storm, into the night, and was never seen again. More than 50 years later, the mystery of D.B. Cooper remains unsolved. Who was he? Did he survive, or did the night swallow him forever? This is the unbelievable story of the man who disappeared from the sky. It was November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve. At Portland International Airport, a middle-aged man approached the Northwest Orient counter. He paid cash for a one-way ticket to Seattle. The name on the ticket, Dan Cooper. He was described as calm, neatly dressed, wearing a dark business suit, white shirt, black tie, and carrying a black briefcase. Nothing about him seemed unusual. He boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305, a Boeing 727 with 36 passengers. After takeoff, he ordered a drink, bourbon and 7-Up. Then he handed a note to a flight attendant. At first, she ignored it, assuming it was a businessman flirting, but Cooper leaned closer and quietly said, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." And just like that, the ordinary flight became a nightmare. The note contained a terrifying demand: $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. To prove he was serious, Cooper opened his briefcase. Inside, wires and red cylinders. It looked exactly like a bomb. The pilots were informed immediately. But what made this hijacking terrifying was Cooper's behavior. He wasn't panicking. He wasn't shouting. He wasn't violent. He was calm, almost professional. He even reassured the flight attendants that everything would be fine if his instructions were followed. As the plane landed in Seattle, authorities complied. The passengers were released safely. The ransom money was delivered. 4 parachutes were brought on board. Then Cooper gave his final order. The plane would take off again. Destination: Mexico City, with a refueling stop in Reno. But what happened next turned this crime into legend. The Boeing 727 lifted into the rainy night sky. Only the flight crew and Cooper remained on board. He instructed the pilots to fly low and slow. Around 8 p.m., somewhere above the dark wilderness of southwest Washington, Cooper opened the rear staircase of the aircraft. Cold air rushed into the cabin. Rain pounded against the fuselage. The crew stayed locked in the cockpit. Then suddenly, they felt the aircraft jerk upward. A change in pressure, a sudden shift in weight. B. Cooper had jumped out of a commercial jet at night in stormy weather with nothing but a parachute and a bag filled with cash, and then silence. The FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Helicopters searched forests. Military aircraft scanned the mountains. Agents combed rivers, valleys, and remote terrain. But there was no body, no parachute, no briefcase, no trace of Cooper. The only evidence he left behind was strangely simple: a black clip-on tie, a few cigarette butts, and one of the unused parachutes. Years passed. Suspect after suspect was investigated. Military veterans, skydivers, criminal masterminds, even copycat hijackers. Yet every lead ended the same way: Nothing. It was as if the man had simply vanished into thin air. Then, in 1980, the mystery deepened. A young boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River found something shocking: rotting bundles of $20 bills. The serial numbers matched the ransom money. Nearly $5,800 had surfaced, but this discovery only created more questions. How did the money get there? Did Cooper bury it? Did it wash downstream? Did he die in the wilderness? Or was someone trying to mislead investigators? To this day, the rest of the ransom money has never been found. There are only two real possibilities. Theory 1. He died that night. Many investigators believe the jump was suicidal. Freezing temperatures, heavy rain, dense forest, no proper gear, a night jump into unfamiliar mountains. The odds of survival were almost impossible. Theory 2. He escaped perfectly. Others believe Cooper knew exactly what he was doing. He understood aircraft systems. He chose the perfect plane, the perfect route, the perfect weather conditions to disappear. Some think he had military parachute training. Others believe he had help waiting on the ground and that he escaped with the money forever. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially suspended the case. No confirmed identity, no body, no final answer. D.B. Cooper remains the only unsolved skyjacking in commercial aviation history. A man in a black suit, a plane in the night, a leap into darkness, and a mystery the world may never solve. So the question still remains: did D.B. Cooper survive the jump, or is he still out there, watching the legend grow?